everyone, I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush with your Cayman Islands Government Television News Brief on this Thursday, the 2nd of November. Thanks for being here. Family and friends were at Owen Roberts International Airport yesterday, Wednesday, November the 1st, to say farewell to reigning Miss Cayman, Iliane Powry, and to give the beauty queen their well wishes. While in El Salvador, Iliane will join close to 90 other women from around the world as they compete for the crown. Her days will be filled with photo shoots, rehearsals, and tours, which will all lead up to the costume and preliminary competitions. The Miss Universe pageant will take place on Saturday, November 18th. The theme of the Caribbean Association of Banks conference happening in Trinidad and Tobago last week is embracing change and building resilience in a dynamic environment. The agenda included a small and medium-sized enterprises workshop and marketplace under the theme, Nurturing a Big Business Mindset for Your Small Business Success. Minister for Tourism and Ports, the Honourable Kenneth Bryan, was invited to speak at the regional event in his capacity as chairman of the Caribbean Tourism Association. The minister's participation in the conference highlights his commitment to supporting the growth and development of the tourism industry in the Caribbean and the Cayman Islands, recognizing the crucial role that small businesses play in driving economic prosperity, particularly within the tourism sector. Minister Bryan emphasized the importance of facilitating access to capital for these enterprises. The conference highlighted Minister Bryan's advocacy for making funding more readily available for small and medium-sized tourism businesses across the region. Liquor license holders will be granted an extension beyond regular closing times for New Year's Eve. Bars, restaurants, nightclubs, and hotels will be permitted to sell liquor and play music until 4 a.m. on the morning of Monday, the 1st of January. Licensees are advised that the last serving of alcohol must be done at 3:50 a.m., 10 minutes prior to the closing time, to be compliant with the Liquor Licensing Act. The playing of music must cease promptly at 4 a.m. All other licensing stipulations will remain in effect. The board also noted that there are no extensions in effect for Christmas Eve on Sunday, the 24th of December. For more information, contact the Department of Commerce and Investment on 945-0943 or info@dci.gov.ky. The Cayman Islands recently celebrated being removed from the Financial Action Task Force's grey list after 2 years of sustained hard work to demonstrate the jurisdiction's compliance standards. Minister for Financial Services and Commerce, the Honourable Andre Ebanks, spoke with CIG TV about the work it took to get the country to reach this milestone.
There was an enormous amount of work, not only in the private sector, but also the public sector. The public sector had to ensure that we implemented any necessary legislative or regulatory standards to ensure that we met the FATF standard. At the same time, that would have meant that the private sector would have had to adjust to those rules, whether they had to implement new procedures, enhanced procedures in terms of dealing with due diligence with their clients. And then the clients, let's not leave them out, would have had to have adjusted to providing that information to their service providers locally. So believe me when I tell you that this was a country-wide effort, not necessarily a Attorney General or Minister effort. This was a country-level effort. You had to have a system that was working at a particular standard in order to be removed. And I'm thankful for all of the work that went into all of our public agencies and all of the private sector.
Turning now to our local forecast, tonight calls for cloudy skies with an 80% chance of showers and some thunder. Showers may be locally heavy at times, leading to the flooding of low-lying areas. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet, and small craft should exercise caution over open water. Cloudiness and showers associated with a cold front over the Cayman area will linger for the next 24 hours, as the front becomes stationary this afternoon. Further north, a high-pressure system over the southeastern United States will support fresh northeasterly winds and rough seas across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours. Satellite images show patches of shallow, low-level clouds across the Cayman area. A reminder that you can get the latest on local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky. Also check out the National Weather Service's Facebook page. And that ends today's news brief here on Cayman Islands Government Television. I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush, wishing you all a very good night, everyone.
Seek the latest, accurate information on COVID-19 only from official sources at gov.ky/coronavirus.
I'm Jody Ann Powery. I'm the Police Media Officer with the RCIPS, and I'm here to give you some crime prevention tips on how to best protect your property. The first thing that we want to discuss is our points of entries. Let's start with the front door, and then we'll move on to the windows and the back doors or sliding glass doors. The first thing to consider is the front door. This particular front door has 2 deadbolt locks. One of these deadbolt locks are properly carpentered and the other is not. When your door is properly locked, you'll hear a click at the end and the deadbolts are not able to move. If it is slightly opened, then you can push the deadbolt back without having any restrictions. I'll now proceed to show you what your lock should look like when it is properly locked. When it comes to your windows, you want to make sure that your window is locked all the way down, because even though the lock is on, if it's not all the way down, it can still be pried. The proper way to lock the window is to make sure that the window goes all the way down to the seal and then you pull across the lock. When you have a sliding glass door at home, you want to make sure that you have secondary locking devices in addition to the lock that comes with the door. One of those can be a simple piece of wood that's jamming the doorway. We want to encourage you to ensure that you don't make things easy for burglars who are looking for opportunities to break into property by leaving your property out in plain view. Some of these items are your car keys, your electronics, and your handbags. Make sure that you put these properties away when you're leaving the house or when you're going to bed. When you're going camping or if you're taking your family on a trip, you want to ensure that your property has some sign of life. This can be done by leaving a light on or putting timers on your lights. And we want to ensure that our family homes are safe. In order to do so, we encourage that people take the proper precautions by starting up neighborhood watches or encouraging family members or persons they trust to check on their properties while they're away.